2 days ago, the Oscars took place, and I'm not here to really talk about anything but the movies. And the reason why I have to preface things like that is because performances, I thought that I Lied to You was a great performance, and I also thought that Golden was pretty mid, and that's a different conversation I'm going to bring up later. But I don't really have to talk about the music right now. I'm here to talk about movies again. Y'all seem to enjoy the last video, so I'm back doing it again. And one quick thing before we get into it, Conan O'Brien, I understand you have a fan base. I don't think he's funny, to be honest. That's all I gotta say. Because when I was watching that, I didn't really laugh at any of the stuff he was doing. I understand they all had comedic intent, but it was not really funny for me. But right now, I have all the winners in front of me and how I feel about each of these things winning, and overall my feeling after the Oscars. First things first, we're gonna start off with. I was gonna start off with Best Picture, but I'm not gonna. I'm gonna start off with where they started, which was. Let me see. They have Best Documentary Short. Didn't care about that. No disrespect to those people. It was All the Empty Rooms. Best Live Action Short, which had tied winners, which is very historic. That's really cool. Best Animated Short was The Girl Who Cried Pearls. Never seen that. Best Costume Design, and one of the biggest winners of these Grammys, low-key, Frankenstein. Frankenstein won like 4 awards, and it all had to do with set design and like makeup and things like that. Speaking of makeup, Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Frankenstein. Best Casting was One Battle After Another. I thought that Sinners should have won that, but I don't really have a problem with that happening, to be honest. Best Production Design, Frankenstein wins it again. And Best Visual Effects was Avatar Fire and Ash. I didn't know if it was going to be a part of this, because I didn't know if it was going to be a part of these Oscars, because I thought it was like the Grammys where there's like a quarter, and the quarter ends sometime in December. But then I also remembered Marty Supreme came out in December 25th, so yeah, it's gonna count. Best Sound goes to F1. This is the only award that they won. They were nominated for a lot of different things. I'm happy they came out with something, because it is a really great movie, and I'm gonna speak about that more. But there's like the top 3 movies of this year just dominated so many people. And I know I probably look crazy in this rocking chair. I love it though. I love a rocking chair. But like, the best 3 movies coming into these Oscars were so like head and shoulders above everybody that the bottom few didn't really get that much like mention or attention about anything. So I'm really happy to see that they at least had an opportunity to win something. Best Film Editing went to One Battle After Another. Whatever. Best Cinematography, Sinners. Best Original Score, Sinners. Obviously, that was too easy. If it didn't win that, I would have been really disappointed. And now let's get into something that I am really, really unhappy with, and I've seen a lot of different people bring different points into this. It says Best Original Song, and the winner was Golden by K-Pop Demon Hunters. This is coming from the bottom of my heart. I'm being so serious. I have no hate for the song. I have no hate for K-Pop Demon Hunters. Get your bag. I'm very happy that they are able to be so popular within this climate and everything like that. At the end of the day, as an original song, it's not the best song in the movie, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. I think it's cool, but it's not the best song in the movie at all. And also, it is not a better original song in the atmosphere of a movie than I Lied to You and Sinners. I'm being honest. It's not a better performance, but I can understand why it won, because of sheer popularity. It is the most popular song that has came from a movie probably ever. I have to really do research on that, but it is one of the most popular songs that has came from a movie, especially if you include internationally and like just worldwide in general. It is probably one of the most famous songs of all time if you don't include like instrumentals, you know what I mean? But Best Adapted Screenplay goes to One Battle After Another. They won a few, and I'm happy for them, because it's a really good movie. I think that sometimes it gets lost in the shuffle for me when it comes to arguments, because I just think that Sinners is so much better like as a movie than it, that I sometimes undervalue how good it is. But it is a really good movie. Shout out to PTA for winning another one of his. He has like 14 Oscars at this point. He's a very, very, very good director. So that's not me at all saying that they didn't deserve it. Best original screenplay goes to Sinners, Ryan Coogler. He now is halfway to an EGOT. I don't think he's ever gonna make a play or a musical or anything like that to get a Tony, but that's really cool to know that he actually has. I think it's an Emmy and an Oscar. I don't know if he has a Grammy. He could get a Grammy for an original score off of a what's it called? Off of a movie, but I'm pretty sure it is just Grammy and Emmy. But definitely deserved, of course. Best documentary, Mr. Nobody Against Putin. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. Best international feature was obviously Sentimental Value because it also had the mix of what's it called, Western people in it. It was very much adapted into Western culture. A lot of people talked about it on this side of the pond. So shout out to these other movies. Sarat also was in consideration. The Secret Agent got a lot of low-key underground underdog calls, and it did have a lot of noms. It didn't win any, I don't think, that I can remember. I don't think it won any, but it was apparently a really good movie. I didn't watch it. I will watch it. Sarat was decent, and Sentimental Value, I watched it recently. It was alright. It was good. You know, I'll say it was good. I'm not going to drag it and say it was bad. Best animated feature goes to K-Pop Demon Hunters, obviously. Shout out to the other movies, but this was a wash. There's just no way. There was genuinely no way that it wasn't winning. I'm so sorry. Best director went to PTA again. I think Ryan Coogler deserved it, but you know, whatever. It's fine. PTA is a great director, like I said before, so it's not really a problem for me. Let's talk about one thing. And I think this is the first time that I'm going to mention this movie other than when I said when it came out. And this is probably like the overarching idea and theme of this video because it came to me again because last year, like, I'll explain very soon. It has Josh Safdie here for Marty Supreme. Marty Supreme got swept. They did not win a single award, including Timothée Chalamet for Best Actor, and it was nominated 9 times, I believe. And this is very similar to what happened last year, where Timothée Chalamet had, I believe it was Dune 2 and A Great Unknown, and none of those won anything except for Dune winning set design, I believe. But he's gone into 2 separate, I don't know if he's ever won an Oscar, but now he's gone into 2 separate Oscars where he's been a lead man and has consistently had a lot of nominations, because both years Dune 2 and like A Great Unknown was nominated a good bit, and this was nominated 9 times. Marty Supreme was nominated 9 times. He did not win a single thing. And I'm not saying it in a way like, oh, he deserved to win something. I just find it very, I don't know how to say this because I don't think it's confusing. I don't think it's crazy. He's one of the more famous actors of all time, and he's a great actor. He's extremely talented. I'm not saying this in a way that's like he doesn't deserve it, but this year and last year, simply put, he was not the best actor. The best actor went to the right person this year, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. But Marty Supreme, was it the best movie? No. It was a great movie. It was a great movie, especially when you bring it to the fact that, like, it was about something that nobody really knew about at this point in time. Like, it was not a relevant topic, and also it was like not really, like, the action was based off of something that was completely foreign to everybody. We don't really think about ping pong movies. But once again, I said I'll come into it a lot more later. Best supporting actor went to Sean Penn. Disgusting. I hate that he won this. Fuck Sean Penn. Should have went to Delroy Lindo. I'm not going into it more. Should have went to Delroy Lindo, and what's it called? Paul Mescal should have gotten nominated as best supporting actor for Hamnet, but Delroy was way better than fucking Sean Penn, without a doubt. Best supporting actress went to Amy Madigan for Weapons. Like I said in my video, if you haven't seen it, it's my latest video. For sure, she deserved it. It was between her and Mosaku, but they were both there for me. I love both of their performances, but her performance in general just captivated so many people in the way that she was able to take over the movie. Once she got introduced, she genuinely took over the movie, and you were just thinking in the back of your head, when is she going to come back on screen? So shout out to her. She did a great job. Best actress went to the person I wanted it to go to, which was Jessie Buckley for Hamnet. She did a great job in that movie. Genuinely a one-of-one performance of this year when it comes to the women actresses. Emma Stone, you were amazing at Begonia. Don't get me wrong, but I genuinely do think that Jessie Buckley had an all-time performance in that movie. When you just factor in emotion and the way that she was able to portray this character in the way that it was supposed to be, to a perfect level. She had one of the best performances, period, out of anybody, except for the winner of Best Actor, which was Michael B. Jordan. And this is the one I wanted to talk about the most. These next two are the ones I wanted to talk about the most. This should have been a wash. And I don't know if it was. I don't know if other people were saying, oh, I don't know, maybe Leonardo DiCaprio, maybe Ethan Hawke, maybe. Shout out to Ethan Hawke. I love Ethan Hawke. Shout out to Leonardo DiCaprio, great actor. Shout out to Timothy Chalamet. Shout out to Wagner Moura. Michael B. Jordan had a singular all-time one-of-one performance in Sinners. That's simply, like, it was to the point, like, it's hard to really explain this in words. You don't associate his characters with him. You know what I mean? Like, you don't look at Smoke and Stack and think, oh, that's Michael B. Jordan. And I feel like for some other actors, you felt that way. Like Leonardo DiCaprio, I felt like he had a great emotional performance that brought his character out, but I still thought of it like, oh, like Leonardo DiCaprio is having a great performance. I wasn't thinking of it singularly outside of his career. I don't, like, when I watch that movie, I don't think, oh my goodness, this is such a performance by Michael B. Jordan. I'm thinking, oh, Smoke and Stack are doing their thing. Like, he gives them their own identities, and you can also just factor in great writing from the writing team over there and great directing overall and just a great movie. But he, like, gives them a world in the way that he acts out these characters, and he makes them so singular. And when I first watched this movie, it was like, oh, I don't know if I'll be able to tell the difference between Smoke and Stack. It was not difficult. There are definitive differences between these two twins in this movie, and it's so captivating to see somebody grab that sort of assignment and make it such a peak for their career. Because there was a point in time where people thought Michael B. Jordan was going to fizzle out and only be like a, action actor, not do much other than like The Rock type shit. Like Creed, I love the movie franchise Creed, but it doesn't highlight his acting talents as much as Sinners did. And then we started to see his acting talents at this highest level around like the Black Panther time when he was playing, when he was in Black Panther, that was a great acting performance, one of his best ever. And then he goes back to doing action movies like Creed and things like that. And I'm not saying that this isn't an action movie, because there is definitely action, but it is not the focal point of the movie. The focal point of the movie is the story, and the story is most captivating when you act the best you can, and that is just what he did. Nobody else could fit that role. Nobody else in the history of acting could do the role better than what Michael B. Jordan did, because he did it so perfectly that he didn't overdo it. So it wasn't like, oh, he's obviously trying to do too much. No, he did it to the perfect amount where it was like, okay, everybody understands, everybody gets it, and it works. And it doesn't feel forced. It doesn't feel out of line. It doesn't feel like, nothing feels wrong about this performance. Where like some people could have done it well, but it would have felt overdone or corny. He did it perfectly. So this shouldn't have even been a conversation. And it wasn't a conversation in the video that I dropped. I said easily Michael B. Jordan. And I also said easily Delroy Lindo, because he did something very similarly. That's just my opinion. Like, there's no way that I'm not going to get into that. Like, for example, I feel like you've probably heard this. Timothy Chalamet is not, he's an amazing actor. He gets to his characters for sure. But every time I hear, like, I see a movie with him in it, I think, okay, Timothy Chalamet is having a great performance. I don't think of him as his character. I think of him as him. It's just him acting. It's not like this character being performed by him. It's him performing. If you know what I'm saying. Like, he never gets out of his own like emotional range or his comfortability. The only time I can really think he got out of that comfortability was when he played a drug addict. Shout out to Beautiful Boy, one of the most like gut-wrenching movies I've ever seen. But when he played that character, he was very good at getting out of his own skin, but it still had that little hint of him. And that's not a negative thing. It just kind of hinders him from being able to be viewed in the same level that Michael B was being able to be viewed, because I didn't at all think of this movie like, oh yeah, Michael B's doing Michael B-isms, or like this is reminding me of what he did in past movies. No, this was completely singular in performances. Like, for example, some other movies that Timothée Chalamet have been in, is like you can see his performance in, what's it called, Bones and all, and he's just like, it's just him with charisma, which is good. You want to have charisma if you're an actor, and he has a lot of it. And it's the same thing with Marty Supreme. It is just Timothée Chalamet with charisma, attaching himself to a character's goals and a character's dreams and living them out through him, rather than actually becoming the character. And that's another reason why I feel like Marty Supreme kind of didn't go the way that they wanted to. Obviously, a lot of people hold that movie into high regard, but at the end of the day, it's not better than, it wasn't at all in the conversation for winning this. Sinners was better. What's it called? One Better After Another was better. Bogonia was better. Hamnet was better. Those are my opinions. Of course, you can think that Marty Supreme is one of the best movies of all time, but I simply do not think that. I think it's great. I think it attacks what it's supposed to beautifully. And to be honest, I don't think Timothée Chalamet has the best acting performance on it. I don't. But also that could factor in how I feel about the people. I don't hate Timothée Chalamet. I think he's a great actor, like I've said a million times in this fucking video. But when it comes to the people in this movie, I think Tyler, the Creator, had a better performance than him when it comes to just being able to get out of himself. He, of course, is extremely charismatic in the movie like he is in real life, so it's not hard for him to adapt to that. But I didn't sit here thinking, oh, that's a musician doing a movie. I saw her thinking, oh, okay, he's actually becoming that character. I think that Adizia Azion did better than him, in my opinion. I'm surprised she didn't get a nomination for Best Actress or Best Supporting Actress, because I feel like she deserved some sort of recognition for the type of performance that she had, especially considering what people expected coming into this movie. They were thinking, oh, she's just going to be this love interest that he chases and things like that. No, she chases him. And she, like, it's, I'm not going to go into the plot of a movie, because if you've seen the movie, you know what it is. But she's a completely different character than we expected coming into this. And, like, she does it well. She does it very well. And I think that Timothy was he had a great performance as Marty Supreme. Do I think other people could have done it better? Yeah. And I can say that about a lot of his performances recently. I think a lot of people could have done, I'm not going to go into that, but he's a great actor. He needs to take some more steps to become a legendary actor. He needs to disconnect himself from himself in a few more films to become a legendary level actor. Because I just see him in every single movie, and that's not fully his fault, but that's just what it is. But let's talk about Best Picture. It's One Battle After Another winning, and I was genuinely disappointed by this. I was sad because I think that Sinners was the best movie. Like I said before, my metric for every movie after I saw Sinners was, does it have the ability to do what Sinners did, regardless of genre? And I feel like no movie did that. I think Sinners was the best movie of the year pretty easily. It's one of the best movies of the last 5, but that's neither here nor there. I do appreciate what One Battle After Another did. I'm very proud of people like Tiana Taylor. She did a great job. I think that there was a lot of people trying to say that she was not an actress. She's not a good actress. She is a really good one. She did a really good job in this movie, and I'm happy to see her so enthusiastic about things. And that's one thing I hate about this current climate. When people see people too enthusiastic, they say, oh, they're so annoying, they're so overboard, they do too much, they're OD, whatever. I will say this one time, please express emotions. That is the best thing about movies in general, the expression of emotion. So why at a movie event where you're being celebrated for doing such a good job expressing emotion, are you supposed to conceal them and hold them down? That's just that's so stupid to even consider. I hate that. And I feel like a lot of people tend to think hating is the best way to go into things, and continuously hating on how people are happy is a really cool thing to do, which at the end of the day, we're in a very bad time when it comes to things like that right now. Express your happiness, express your feelings, feel happy. And if you don't feel happy, get help. Like at the end of the day, there's no problem of getting help, but don't bring your sad emotions onto other people by trying to, like, berate them for having a good time. She had a good time. She was happy and excited to go up there. Shout out to her for winning her first ever. They won best picture. You want her to walk up there just no, she's excited. People just get excited. There's no reason to hate on somebody for getting excited. Like, I'm not happy that they won because I think that Sinners is a better movie, but you're not going to see me say, oh, she's excited, fuck her. No. They deserve to be excited because they had a really good movie and they had a real chance of winning it, and they did. So shout out to them. But let me know how y'all feel about the awards. I'm very, very, very excited to see the movies that come out this year. Some of the movies have already caught my eye. I will let y'all know when I watch some more. Let me know if y'all still want to see more movie content, because I can really get into this. I can really talk about some of the best scores coming from movies when it comes to music, because that's that's one of the things that I love the most, when a movie has the ability to captivate me with the musical tones and the music actually like encapsulating what the movie is supposed to be like. So if you want to see that, let me know. I will see y'all next time. Peace.